Hello, dear students. Have a nice day to all. Today's session is to continue the fourth chapter of your social science, How the Traders Became Rulers. In the previous session, we have learned about Wellesley's policy of expansion, that was subsidiary alliance system. We have also learned how the Britishers expanded their rule in India by adopting divide and rule policy. So today we are going to start with the next topic, Dalhousie's policy of annexation. The main aim of Wellesley's policy was to bring all the native kingdoms of India under East India Company's rule. And for this purpose, they didn't want to use any of their resources. And all those states who accepted the policy considered the British as their friends, as there was no threat of war or anything internally as well as externally. The rulers of these kingdoms became irresponsible and the administration of these states began to deteriorate. In many of these princely states, anarchy was started. Anarchy means a situation in which people do not obey rules and laws. Then the Britishers started interfering in the state affairs of these princely states. They got an excuse that they interfered to put an end to this anarchy in these states. Lord Dalhousie became the Governor General of India in 1848 AD and he adopted the policy of annexation for the expansion of the East India Company and the British imperialism in India. Thus, under the various pretexts, many states of India were annexed by Dalhousie to the British Kingdom. Punjab and Burma were annexed under the pretext of war. Some other kingdoms like Satara, Jhansi, Nagpur, Sambalpur, Jaipur, etc. were annexed due to the king died without any son. Ayodhya was annexed on pretext of mismanagement. Hyderabad, Karnataka, Tanjore, etc. were some other states which were annexed under various pretexts. Thus, during the time of Dalhousie, the British traders made huge profits from the trade of tea and coffee and they captured the areas that produced these commodities on a large scale. Though Dalhousie was a fierce imperialist, many reforms were also done in India by Dalhousie. So now let's see what were the reforms done by Dalhousie in India. The first railway line in India was started between Mumbai and Thane in the year 1853 AD. Then the modern postal system was started in India. Wireless system between India and England was also started by Dalhousie. He passed laws to ban child marriage and he also encouraged widow remarriage. English education was started during his time. First, 3 universities in India were established in Mumbai, Chennai and Kolkata in the year 1853. So, these were the reforms done by Dalhousie in India. Basically, all these reforms were done in India for the expansion of British rule and for making their administration easier. But we all know that later, all these reforms became beneficial to the Indians. Now, let's look into the last topic, that is dissatisfaction of people. Thus, the two unjust policies of Britishers, that is subsidiary alliance system and Dalhousie's annexation policy. These policies did not do anything good to the people of India. On the contrary, it resulted in the dissatisfaction among the people. During the rule of East India Company, the Britishers suppressed and oppressed the people of India in many ways. Moreover, when Dalhousie started the reforms in India, the orthodox people felt that the Britishers were trying to destroy the Indian culture. Here orthodox people means the people who were believing in traditionally accepted rules or behavior. So these people, they could not accept the changes done by the Britishers in India. The Britishers did all these reformations just because they wanted to do their administration smoothly. During this time, the dissatisfaction of the people reached to its highest point and it resulted in a rebellion or protest against the Britishers. Thus, in the year 1857 AD, the first freedom movement was started in India with the initiative of Mangal Pandey, and gradually the revolt began to spread in all parts of our country, and ultimately the East India Company's rule came to an end, and India came under the direct rule of the British Parliament. Hope that this chapter is clear to all. Please read the chapter from your textbook and also write the textual exercises in your notebook. Until we meet again with another chapter, take care. Bye.